Barwick, Executive Member of the Australian Citizens Party. We have been an independent political party for over 30 years on the Australian continent, fighting for policies, in particular for economic justice for all. I would like to greet everybody at today's iDIPLOMATIA Youth of the World 2020 online forum. The Citizens Party agrees with recent statements by Russian President Vladimir Putin, Foreign Minister Lavrov and Russian experts at the 22 to 24 October BRICS Academic Forum. In particular, that the COVID-19 pandemic creates an opportunity amid all of the chaos for fundamental change in thinking and in policy, which the world so urgently needs. The Australian Citizens Party has long been warning of the economic crisis that has brought us to this point where we cannot handle such a pandemic. The pandemic itself has not caused the economic crisis, but it indeed has exposed and exacerbated it. What our party has been saying is that for more than 4 decades, there has been a fundamental split between, on the one hand, the real physical economy and growth in areas such as production and agriculture and industry, and on the other hand, financial speculation, which has run rampant, growing huge financial bubbles that are bursting and continue to burst from 2008 onward to this day, that has still not been resolved. Therefore, there is an urgent requirement for dramatic economic policy reform. And I wanted to mention that China has provided a stellar example of how that reform can be conducted. In 2008, after the global financial crisis erupted, China conducted studies which identified this split between the real physical economy and the financial speculative bubble. And China has policies, and has had for some decades, that would foster, on the one hand, the productive sector, and on the other hand would quell speculation. So policies such as Glass-Steagall, which was an American policy after the 1929 Depression, implemented by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, which would prevent retail and commercial banks from engaging in speculation whatsoever. It also uses national credit or state credit to support the growth of industry and production. Now, the Belt and Road Initiative is another critical proposal that China has encouraged the world to adopt. So after the global financial crisis, it started to unleash credit into the real economy, and the Belt and Road policy is encouraging other countries to join and participate in doing the same. And along with our associate at the International Schiller Institute, we support China's concept of win-win cooperation through that Belt and Road policy. In addition, we also dramatically need reform to the international security architecture, and we heartily endorse President Putin's proposal for a summit of the permanent 5 nations of the UN Security Council. At the Valdai Summit just recently, Putin stressed that such a new security architecture must be based on the concept of the sovereign nation state, which, as he identified at that summit, is based upon the citizens of the nation having confidence in the government of the country. And along those lines, the BRICS institution, the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation, and various other forums are playing a critical role to bring that notion of sovereignty to the fore and to diffuse the current tensions that could lead us rapidly down the path of thermonuclear war. Now, those tensions, in their most recent incarnation, have been brought about by the United States and the United Kingdom implementing new security and policy doctrines which identify Russia and China as great competitors, aka enemies of the US and the United Kingdom. There are many Australians who absolutely refuse to believe that notion and who are working to throw away that idea. Russia and China are collaborators, and more than ever before at this point in the world's history, Western nations need to be collaborating with them to solve all the problems we're mutually facing right now. So there are many Australians who are working to re-establish diplomacy despite the fractures that are going on with countries such as Russia and China. Finally, I wanted to mention that here in Australia, our greatest fight at the present time within our own nation centres around the fact that we have to completely change our current financial system, replacing the speculators and looters from the international mega banks, which recently here were exposed in a Royal Commission investigation, which exposed phenomenal crimes of the banks. Instead, our party has drafted legislation for a national bank for investment in infrastructure, industry and agriculture. And what is most interesting at the moment, amidst all the other chaos, is that from the United Kingdom to the United States and even Africa and other places, the idea of a national infrastructure bank and public banking has become a hot topic of discussion. And such state-sponsored government initiatives to foster the real economy and business and so forth is a key element of establishing a new, fair and just economic system and reinforcing the sovereignty of all nations within the world. So with that said, my colleagues and I wish you every success for your forum and in pursuing these issues within your own nations. Thank you.